heart disease, diabetes, stroke, cancer, and chronic respiratory diseases. These are the top 5 killers in India right now. In 2023, India reported about 282 deaths per 100,000 people from cardiovascular diseases alone, and over 10 crores Indians are living with diabetes. These numbers are not slowing down, they are increasing every single year. But here's what most people don't realize: the root cause of these diseases doesn't lie in hospitals or in genetics alone, it lies in our daily habits. In the small choices that we make even without thinking. Now you might assume that healthy habits look a certain way: eating salads, avoiding fats, having variety in every single meal. But what if I told you that some of these habits actually look wrong to most people? In fact, when you follow them, people might even judge you or tell you that you're doing it incorrectly. Studies show that 80% of premature deaths are from heart diseases and strokes, and they can be prevented through simple lifestyle changes. Not expensive treatments, not complicated diets, just a few daily habits that most of us are doing backwards. So, what are these 5 habits that look unhealthy but are actually protecting your body from the inside? Why do they work when science say they shouldn't? And how can you start using them today to reverse years of damage? Let's find out. Habit number 5. Always eat your carbohydrates with fat. When I often see someone adding ghee to their rice or eating curd with roti instead of having carbohydrates alone, many people immediately judge this as something unhealthy. They think fat automatically means weight gain, blocked arteries, or diabetes. But biologically, this habit is one of the strongest protective mechanisms your body has against modern lifestyle diseases. To understand why, you first need to understand how your body handles carbohydrates. So, when you eat carbohydrates like rice, roti, bread, or potatoes, they are broken down into glucose. This glucose enters your bloodstream and raises your blood sugar. In response, your pancreas releases a hormone that is called as insulin. Insulin's job is to push glucose out of the blood and into the cells so that it can be used for energy. Now the problem begins when glucose enters your bloodstream too fast. When carbohydrates are eaten alone, without fat or protein, glucose is absorbed very rapidly. This creates a sharp spike in your blood sugar. Your pancreas is forced to release a large amount of insulin in a very short time. Repeated insulin spikes exhaust pancreatic beta cells over the years and make the body cells less responsive to insulin. This is how insulin resistance, type 2 diabetes, and fatty liver slowly develops in your body. When you add a fat source like ghee, unsalted butter, cold pressed oils, or curd to a carbohydrate meal, digestion slows down. Fat delays gastric emptying, which means that the food stays in your stomach longer. Glucose is released into the bloodstream gradually instead of all at once. This single change dramatically alters your hormonal response. Instead of a sharp insulin spike, insulin is released slowly and steadily. This protects pancreatic beta cells from a burnout. It also improves insulin sensitivity in your muscles and in your liver cells. Over time, this reduces the risk of diabetes and prevents excess glucose from being converted into liver fat and promotes satiety. From a hormonal perspective, this habit directly stabilizes insulin, glucagon, and incretin peptide like GLP-1. GLP-1 is a gut hormone that improves insulin efficiency and promotes satiety. Fat intake stimulates GLP-1 release, which helps control appetite and blood sugar simultaneously. There is a strong scientific evidence behind this mechanism. Studies published in journals like Diabetes Care and American Journal of Clinical Nutrition show that adding fats to carbohydrate meals significantly lowers post-meal glucose spikes and insulin demand. Research consistently demonstrates that improved glycemic control when carbohydrates are consumed with fats rather than alone. This habit also protects your heart indirectly. Repeated insulin spikes increase triglycerides production in the liver. High triglycerides damage blood vessels and accelerates atherosclerosis. By smoothing glucose absorption, fat reduces triglyceride formation and lowers long-term cardiovascular risk. Now let's talk about the practical and real side of this habit. People who eat carbohydrates alone often feel hungry again within 2 hours. This is because insulin spikes are followed by rapid blood sugar drops. It triggers hunger and hunger hormones like ghrelin. When fat is added, digestion slows, blood sugar remains stable, and satiety hormones stay active for longer. This naturally reduces overeating without conscious restriction. The right way to execute this habit is simple and realistic. Never eat carbohydrates alone. Always pair them with a natural fat source. Add ghee to rice, eat curd with roti, cook vegetables in cold pressed oils instead of steaming them dry. Even a small amount of fat is enough to change a metabolic response of the meal. You do not need large quantities. Just 1 teaspoon of ghee or oil per meal is sufficient to slow digestion and protect insulin response. The goal is not excess fat, but strategic fat. This single habit, when practiced daily, quietly reduces the risk of diabetes, fatty liver, metabolic syndrome, and heart disease. It may look like a bad habit to the calorie counting world, but biologically it is one of the most intelligent things you can do for long-term health. Habit number 4. Eating fermented foods plain and not improved. One of the most common mistakes people make with healthy food is trying to make it even healthier. Fermented foods suffer the most from this habit. Curd gets mixed with sugar, fruits, onion, sauces, or turned into elaborate bowls and smoothies. On the surface, this looks nutritious. Inside the body, it quietly destroys the very reason fermented food is beneficial. Fermented foods work because they contain living microorganisms. These bacteria are not nutrients. They are living systems with very specific survival requirements. When these requirements are disturbed, the bacteria die or they turn harmful. To understand why eating fermented foods plain matters, we need to understand what the bacteria actually do in our body. Beneficial bacteria from curd or buttermilk travel through the digestive tract and settle in the intestine. Once there, they produce short-chain fatty acids like butyrate and acetate. These compounds are essential. They fuel intestinal cells, they regulate immune tolerance, they reduce inflammation, they prevent harmful bacteria from attaching to the gut lining. This entire process depends on the bacteria reaching the intestine alive. Habit number 3 is you must prefer cooked food over raw salads for daily eating. Now, why choosing cooked foods quietly protects your gut, immunity, and hormones? This habit often sounds old-fashioned. Many people believe that raw food is automatically more healthy, more nutritious, and more cleansing. So when someone prefers cooked vegetables, warm meals, soups, stews, on most days they are told that they are destroying nutrients. But biologically, human digestive system was never designed to handle large amount of raw foods every single day. To understand why this habit protects long-term health, we need to look at how digestion actually works. Your digestive system relies on enzymes, stomach acid, bile, and your gut bacteria to break down food into absorbable nutrients. Raw foods, especially raw vegetables, contain tough plant fibers like cellulose and hemicellulose. Humans do not produce the enzymes needed to break these fibers efficiently. That job is handed over to your gut bacteria. When you eat raw food occasionally, this system works fine. But when raw food becomes a daily staple, especially in large amount, digestion shifts from controlled breakdown to fermentation. Fermentation sounds harmless, but excessive fermentation is a problem. When raw fibers reach the intestine undigested, bacteria ferment them aggressively. Now this produces gases, organic acids, histamine, and anti-inflammatory byproducts. Over time, this constant fermentation irritates the gut lining and activates immune system. This is one of the hidden pathways through which bloating, IBS, food intolerances, and autoimmune gut conditions slowly develop. Cooking changes this completely. When food is cooked, heat breaks down the plant cell wall and denatures the complex proteins. This makes nutrient easier to absorb and dramatically reduces the workload on your digestive system. The gut no longer has to over-ferment the food to extract energy. As a result, inflammation decreases. From a biological standpoint, this habit directly protects the intestinal barrier. The gut lining is made of tightly connected cells held together by proteins called as tight junctions. Excess fermentation and irritation loosen these junctions, allowing toxins and partially digested food particles to enter the bloodstream. This condition, often called increased intestinal permeability, is strongly linked to autoimmune diseases, chronic fatigue, allergies, and systemic inflammation. There's also a hormonal angle that most people miss. Poor digestion triggers the release of stress hormones like cortisol, and chronically elevated cortisol interferes with your insulin sensitivity, it suppresses the thyroid hormone activation, and it completely disrupts reproductive hormones. By choosing cooked food, digestion becomes smoother, cortisol release drops, and hormonal balance improves quietly over time. Now let's talk about which foods benefit most from this habit. Vegetables like spinach, carrot, pumpkin, lauki, cabbage, cauliflower, and beans should ideally be eaten cooked on most days. Cooking reduces oxalates and other anti-nutrients that block mineral absorption. This does not mean raw food is forbidden. Raw foods can be eaten occasionally in small quantities and preferably earlier in the day when your digestion is stronger. But making raw food the foundation of your diet is where the problems begin. Habit number 2 is eating fermented foods plain without mixing it with sugar, fruits, onions, and sauces. When fermented foods are mixed with incompatible items, the bacteria do not survive the journey. Sugar creates osmotic stress that pulls water out of bacterial cells, causing them to collapse. Acidic fruits and sour combinations alter pH beyond what these bacteria can tolerate. Heating foods or heating temperatures kill them outright. Instead of probiotics, what reaches your gut is dead bacterial debris and fermentation byproducts that irritate your gut lining. Biologically, this shifts the gut environment from symbiotic to inflammatory. Gut bacteria fragments activate immune receptors in the gut wall. This triggers immune responses instead of tolerance. Over time, this increases gut permeability and pushes the immune system towards hypersensitivity. This is one of the mechanisms behind food allergies, autoimmune reactions, and chronic gut inflammation. Traditional fermented foods like fermented rice water, kanji, and naturally fermented pickles can also be beneficial when eaten in small amount and without added sugar or vinegar. These foods introduce diverse bacteria that strengthen microbial resilience. The hormonal impact of this habit is often overlooked. A healthy gut microbiome regulates serotonin production, immune hormones, and even insulin sensitivity. Around 90% of serotonin is produced in your gut. When fermented foods are eaten properly, mood stability, sleep quality, and appetite regulation improves over time. The practical execution of this habit is straightforward. Eat fermented foods as they are meant to be eaten. Keep them simple, no sugar, no fruit, no raw heating foods. Pair curd with rice, drink buttermilk diluted and spiced mildly. Respect fermentation instead of trying to deteriorate it. Habit number 1 is eating your last heavy meal of the day before the sunset. Most people dislike this habit because it goes against modern routines. Dinner feels like the only relaxed meal of the day. So people push their biggest, richest foods into the night. Biologically, this is one of the fastest way to damage your digestion and metabolism over time. Your digestive system is not equally strong throughout the day. It follows a circadian rhythm controlled by light exposures, hormones, and nervous system activity. During daylight, especially late morning to early afternoon, your body produces higher level of digestive enzymes, stomach acid, bile and insulin sensitive glucose transporters. In Ayurveda, it is also called as gastric fire. This is when your system is designed to process complex meals efficiently. As evening approaches, this entire system downshifts. Melatonin, the sleep hormone, begins to rise. At the same time, insulin sensitivity drops, stomach emptying slows down, and digestive enzyme secretion decreases. When heavy foods are eaten at night, they are not fully digested. Instead of being broken down cleanly, they sit longer in the stomach and intestine where they ferment. Fermentation at night creates a very specific biological problem. Undigested food produces gases, organic acids, and inflammatory products that irritate the gut lining. These byproducts also stimulate histamine release, which interferes with deep sleep and raises nighttime inflammation. Over time, this repeated process weakens the gut barrier and disrupts the metabolic signaling. From a hormonal perspective, late heavy meals confuse insulin and cortisol rhythms. At night, cells are less responsive to insulin. When glucose enters the bloodstream during this period, the pancreas must release more insulin to manage it. Repeated nighttime insulin surges promote fat storage, increase triglyceride production in the liver, and accelerates insulin resistance. This is one of the reasons why late eating is strongly associated with fatty liver, type 2 diabetes, weight gain, even when total calories are not excessive. There's also a direct impact on sleep and on your brain health. Heavy nighttime digestion keeps the nervous system on a semi-alert state. Blood flow diverted to the gut instead of the brain's repair systems. This reduces deep sleep quality, it impairs memory consolidation, and it also increases morning fatigue. Poor sleep then feeds back into hormonal imbalance, appetite dysregulation, and chronic inflammation. Over the years, this pattern increases the risk of metabolic diseases, cardiovascular disease, digestive disorders, and cognitive decline. Heavier meals should be eaten during the day, ideally between late morning and early afternoon, when digestive capacity is strongest. Evenings should involve lighter, simpler meals that digest quickly, and dinner does not need to be skipped. Now let's talk about specific food items that should quietly become a part of your regular diet, even though most people ignore them. One extremely underrated food is cooked bottle gourd, lauki, or pumpkin. These vegetables are rich in soluble fiber, potassium, and they're exceptionally gentle on your gut lining. Soluble fiber feeds beneficial bacteria without causing excessive fermentation. Long term, this supports bowel regularity, reduces bloating, and lowers systemic inflammation. 1 cup of cooked lauki daily is ideal. Another food that you must include in your diet is buttermilk. Buttermilk delivers probiotics in a lighter and more digestible form, and it also supplies electrolytes that support gut motility. It reduces post-meal inflammation and improves nutrient absorption. Now what you need to do, just 1 glass 3 to 4 times per week, preferably with lunch, is more than enough. Now stewed or cooked fruits such as apple, pear or papaya are another neglected category. Cooking fruit breaks down tough fibers and reduces fructose stress on the liver. These fruits provide pectin, which heals the gut lining and binds toxins in the intestine. Half to 1 cup cooked fruit in a few times per week supports gut repair without sugar overload. Soaked and cooked millets like foxtail millet or little millet are also foods people avoid unnecessarily. When soaked and cooked properly, they provide magnesium, slow-release carbohydrates, and gut-friendly fiber. Magnesium improves insulin sensitivity and reduces muscle and nerve excitability. One serving 2 to 3 times per week is enough for metabolic support. Now, from a hormonal perspective, repetitive consumption of these foods stabilizes cortisol and improves thyroid hormone conversion. Digestive stress elevates cortisol, and high cortisol blocks conversion of T4 to active T3 thyroid hormone. By calming digestion, this habit indirectly supports thyroid health, energy levels, and metabolic rate. This habit quietly protects diabetes, autoimmune diseases, gut disorders, hormonal imbalances, and chronic fatigue. So this was about 5 simple habits that can make tremendous difference in your health, especially your long-term health and disease prevention. So if you like this video, let us know in the comments below. And as we always say, it's never just a diet, it's always a lifestyle. So stay healthy, stay fit, stay grateful, and stay blessed.